Hello and welcome everybody to our monthly meetup here at VBout, where we discuss some of the latest topics around marketing to bring you the knowledge that we learn along the way building marketing tech. Today, we're going to be talking about WhatsApp marketing in particular and how to turn those conversations into potential customers. You know that you and I consume texts regularly on a day-to-day basis. The average person actually consumes around 32 to 40 texts per day, depending on how active you are. With that, businesses are struggling to find visibility to land their texts in front of the customer or the lead. And WhatsApp is actually making a lot of difference because the metrics that I'm about to share and the methods that we'll go over from some brands are really working well for them. Before I start, I would like to just give a shout out to our sponsor today, VBout, who's been sponsoring this for about 10 years now. As you know, VBout is a marketing technology platform for your agency or for your marketing team. If you think about email marketing, if you think about automation or AI chatbots, we give you those features so you can boost your lead capture, conversions, nurture, and your overall marketing game. Obviously, VBout, many of you who are with us today uses VBout in one way or another, but some who might be joining or watching this later might not have used VBout. If you would like to inquire more, George will be dropping in the chat a quick link so you can schedule a demo to see if we're a good fit. If you haven't joined our community, we have a growing community on Facebook that we announce all the releases, all the events, we send you invites. Keep an eye on the chat. George will be also sharing a link to that so you won't miss any future notification. I also want to give a quick shout out for everybody who's joining us today. We've changed the timing. We usually were doing these at 5 p.m., but given that a lot of guests that we bring on board don't normally have that flexibility, we are changing the time for those events to Wednesday noon, second Wednesday of every month. Okay. So thank you for being flexible with us and changing your time attendance. But just like everything else, we record these events, we make the presentations that we have available to you, and we share them right after. So even if you know you're not going to make the next one, just by signing up, you'll get access to all this awesome material that we gather here at VBout. Also, shout out to George who helps on this and always moderate and always is in his A game, getting you the best content together. All right, let's get started. I'm excited about this topic, particularly because WhatsApp in the United States maybe is not as popular um, as it is in other parts of the world. And that's what the stats will show us. So let's just look a little deeper at the numbers. I'm a numbers guy. I like to look at stats, and that guides usually trends. And that's probably one of the reasons we support WhatsApp integrations in VBout. So if you want to send out messages in VBout, it's definitely there. So what are we looking at here in terms of numbers? WhatsApp is one of the world's largest messaging app. Obviously, is a Meta platform product, and they are pushing it all the way. It has about 2.9 billion users globally. Globally, that's a lot of users. A third almost or fourth of the world is on WhatsApp, and most of them interact on a daily basis. It's available in over 180 countries, making it extremely relevant, especially if you are targeting international customers. And its biggest market is in India, Brazil, parts of North Africa, and even growing here in the United States. We have about 100 million people in the United States actually using WhatsApp. That's a third of the US adults population. It's significant and it's growing just because the ease of use, the adoption for businesses, how they're using it, and how well it converts is just going to grow from here on. The average American, or 50% of Americans, use WhatsApp daily because they get a message from somebody they know or from a business that they interact with. So you're talking about 50 million people in the United States alone uh, have a daily usage of WhatsApp. That's also significant.
Richard, sorry. Yeah, no, now we can hear you.
Sorry about that. In terms of business adoption, because as you know, WhatsApp is people oriented and you and I text together, but the topic for today is going to be focused on actual business use. How can you as a business or your client as a business, if you're an agency, use WhatsApp to boost engagement and land in front of people? And that's something everybody's struggling with when it comes to marketing these days. So in terms of business adoption, you're talking about over 500 million businesses globally have WhatsApp installed and set up as a business. That's 500 million globally, not only in the United States. That would be a big number, but it's significant. That means it's an infrastructure for businesses. It's a road track for businesses. So you can use it or jump on the bandwagon to use it as one of the communication channels for your customers or for your customers' customers. I say that a lot because we have a lot of agencies on VBOut and they're always looking for new strategies. And that's what we're referring to when I say customers of customers. 5 million US companies are on WhatsApp. I'm sorry, 5 million companies use WhatsApp Business API to communicate with customers. That means they've integrated via another platform or tool to communicate with their customers, which is significant because that means they're either using a third-party tool like Vivout, or maybe they even built those API integrations themselves within their company processes. Either way, you can tell a thriving product is not only in how many people use it, it's also how many companies use it and also how many developers are building on top of those platforms. And you have 84% of small businesses consider chatbots if on WhatsApp and other platforms as essential. So when people think chatbots nowadays, they think immediately it's on the website, but they also think of it in terms of I want to integrate with my popular messaging apps, including Instagram DM, Facebook DM, WhatsApp, Telegram, Slack. So you think about a chatbot, WhatsApp is right there in the middle, and that's why every chatbot in the next couple of years is going to have somehow support for WhatsApp. All right, these are some interesting number, you guys. I mean, just a quick show of hands, how many of you is using um, WhatsApp right now for business communication, marketing? Please drop us in the chat. I would like to know that current number because I know that on VBOut, we have only about 12% of our clients have leveraged that feature and they're seeing great results. There's a big room to grow, but I do know and also it's just people struggle figuring this stuff out. So hopefully we'll give you some visibility and some method for that stuff today. All right, so I got about six of you here who's familiar with it and using it. That's great. All right, so let's talk about best practices. Okay, for it comes to WhatsApp marketing, just like everything else in the marketing world, always get an explicit opt-in. Tell your clients you're communicating with them via WhatsApp. Always ask for permission. Can we send you a WhatsApp message? So opt-in is not only an email, it's not only an SMS, but it's also in WhatsApp. And there are several ways to do it. You can add it as part of that checkout checkbox. You can also ask as part of a form. Whatever it is, just make sure you include that communication as a proper opt-in consent. Also using a QR code where you incentivize people. You can actually create a QR code that immediately opens up the app and loads up your business number so people can start communicating with you. And an opt-in can be starting that conversation basically. Okay. And that could drive the opt-in. Just be fully transparent. meaning don't have a random number that looks like it's camouflaged as a person. I've seen a lot of companies do this. It's pretty annoying. Just have your company logo, have your company name associated with it. You can even attach some function to how you're using it. It could be, slash support if that's what you're using it for, or it could be just general inquiries, or just could be the name of the company. So get creative with the name that's associated with it. Um, but definitely the transparency is what we're referring to here. All right, beside the consent, we obviously talk about this in all marketing. And this is the beauty about marketing, you guys, it's universal across the board. It doesn't apply to only one marketing channel because the foundation is the same. You want to use the right tone in every channel that you use. Email gives you a lot more space than an SMS. An SMS gives you less space and less flexibility and interactivity as well, if that's a word, than WhatsApp does. Because WhatsApp allows you to create those dynamic content, videos. The quality of the videos actually can be high quality, especially now that WhatsApp announced that they're going to support high quality, large file transfers and video. Whereas in SMS, traditionally they get crunched. So keeping those limitations and I would say tech features in mind helps, but you want to set the right tone. Now, just like everything else, SMS should be inviting communication with people. Okay. It's a conversation. It's not a one-way communication. You're not just shouting out loud things, even though that's at essence what you are if you're driving a marketing message, an announcement. But you can always invite a conversation. You can always ask people, what do you think about this? Would you like to try it? Would you like me to send you that ebook? Or how about I send you the next event? So always invite conversations because in essence, a conversation is a sort of reaffirmation of an opt-in. Using it for a hard sell haven't proved to work very well when it comes to WhatsApp because people don't want to be sold through WhatsApp. They just want to get updated from their friends. And in this particular topic of today, they want to do it with businesses that they trust particularly. So using a human voice always helps. You can add some, a little kind of joke here and there. You want to be a little bit kind of funny. Mimic your core brand in whatever it is into your messages on WhatsApp. We're very helpful at VBout. Our core thing is we're going to teach you as much marketing as we can. We're going to give you all these awesome tools so you can succeed in your marketing. So even though we haven't deployed WhatsApp at scale, we're in the process of doing that. We will maintain that friendly, helpful tone across the board. You always provide a value. People don't want to be sold. People don't want to waste time. And that's what I said earlier. The average person consumes anywhere from 32 to 40 messages per day. You don't want your message to be the one that gets blocked after it consumed the first time, particularly because it wasn't helpful. It's just a waste of my time. I got a lot on my plate. I'll focus on friends and other businesses that I care about. So provide value at all costs. And every message should be something relevant. And I'm going to share with you examples from brands who are doing that just right. Okay, so clear CTA. A CTA can be in the form of a conversation. Can I send you this? Would you like that? Have you tried this? That's a form of CTA. Don't always think of it as a main big button they need to click. It could be conversational CTA. Images and videos always take the crown. So if you have the ability to create those awesome graphics, which are made super easy right now with AI, or even short videos of yourself without overthinking it, I mean that's great. I've worked with somebody who is a life coach, and every day they have a program WhatsApp message that sends them recording a tip of the day. It's less than 1 minute, and it converts really, really well. That's one example. Be aware of the timing of the messages, just like everything else. People consume things at different times of day. Because WhatsApp is, most people think of it as a personal channel of communication. A lot of people don't really engage with it during business hours. I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people. And with that, you want to try to pinpoint where people are active. Now, I hope eventually at Viva we'll be able to track the best active times because it varies between locations and geographies and such. But figuring out the pattern or behavior for a particular geography is key. Now, the general research that's been done and the general metrics, and I know more data is needed from a business perspective, but users are active mostly in the afternoon to late evenings on WhatsApp, giving you that window to communicate with people. And that probably stems from the fact that most people look at it as a personal communication. So during work business hours, they might shut it down, engage with it midday, etc. Okay, now that's not the case for everybody. Some people work at home and they have it loaded at all times. It is a distraction, and most businesses actually prohibit that kind of distraction during business hours. Okay, so late afternoon, or afternoon to late evenings is your window. Trigger messages, obviously, with some sort of an event. For example, if you are an e-com company, you have a lot of events that were grant you actual cause to send that kind of stuff. An update to an order. That's definitely a good reason to send out a WhatsApp message. An appointment confirmation that's coming up. Traditionally, we do emails. Why not do a WhatsApp message? Just like you do it with SMS messages. Reminders to events, or even maybe a sale that's about to expire today or a flash sale. I mean, these are all valid reasons for triggering an event. It could be even deeper, like opt in to something, or perhaps some sort of a transactional emails and onboarding. There are lots of reasons, and I'll cover those in a second. But think about a reason for sending it, and not just always as a general broadcast. You got to limit the frequencies in terms of how often do you use WhatsApp. Primarily because also WhatsApp have some safeguards around like abuse of the platform. And typically there are some patterns, and when somebody opts in, they message you first. You have 24 hours, I believe, to reply back to that person and send as many messages as you want. But that's not the key here. You don't want to send them too many. After that, they block you from sending it until the person communicates with you again. So basically, from the last response, you have 24-hour window to send the message back. After that, it's not going to be delivered unless you start paying WhatsApp per message, and it becomes more of a marketing message. Okay, so limit the frequency, just make it as necessary, and you want to keep in mind that people don't want to overconsume messages. They're already tapped out, and on average, they consume less than 40 messages per day anyway. All right. Quick mic check here, George. How are we doing? Can you hear me? Is everything clear?
Yes, everything's clear, and we're having really great replies here. Just in case you would like to read them for you, or prefer when you finish the section.
Yeah, we can take a quick review of the questions. I mean, I'm always happy to. I mean, David's just thank you again for coming in on here. We have few people using us. Gio said it's crucial for our industry to avoid spoiling the channel. Absolutely. People are inundated with messages and spam. If we start sending too many nonsense WhatsApp messages, the open rate will undoubtedly fall, just as are seeing email open rates as well. Absolutely, I agree with you, Gio. And that's why best practices should be across the board. That's why we do events like this, because we don't want people to just load up a number and start blasting people messages. People will probably block them anyways if that ends up happening. WhatsApp, in a way, makes it easy. It's a button. Also, not to mention, the setup of the WhatsApp has a step that you need to configure your WhatsApp business with Meta, and you have to verify a number, you have to upload a card. And there's also a format for the message that needs to be approved. So, with that being said, it's not complicated, it's not rocket science, but the barrier to entry is a little bit more, I would say, has multiple steps other than email. So, good point there. Lisa's saying issue that she has WhatsApp, 24 hours message more a rule. Would love to hear about success stories and how they navigated the strict rules. Yes, Lisa, I think after 24 hours, and they did it on purpose. Abuse is one of them. But you probably need to switch to a marketing message, which will need to be approved, and then a marketing message you will pay by per message. So you have to load up your profile. billing profile on WhatsApp directly, not Vbout on WhatsApp. Thank you, David. And we got Nuruddin saying penetration of WhatsApp in the US is very disappointing. It is growing though, and from 16 to 25, gradually with 100 million active. Let's see if that happens. Absolutely. I think it's on the right track. All right. Drop in your questions here, guys. I love your feedback, and the key here is for us to brainstorm things together. We are pioneering this industry, we are innovating and also applying it. So we have a lot of knowledge that we can co-share. All right, let's talk about respect, compliance, and personalization. Again, WhatsApp has strict guidelines. I get it, but that's made to safekeep the the platform from being abused by spammers and scammers and crackers as they call them, and that's totally fine. If you're a legitimate business with a legitimate message and a cause, you're definitely not going to have a lot of trouble with this. Now, every country might have laws and guideline. Is not difficult at all to Google that, ChatGPT that, go to forums on Meta and find those out for your local district. But it is overall a lot more forgiving. I would say the compliance is not as strict as per se email with canned spam, and every country has to have different opt-in options. But to be safe, check locally and read up about it. Every message that needs to be programmed as an automation on WhatsApp needs to be pre-approved. That's something that they also enforced. And typically, a message can be approved almost immediately. You have to follow certain guidelines and formats. If it's a marketing message, they allow you certain jargon. If it's like a transactional message, they might have like slightly different flexibility. But overall, these messages get created. If you're doing it in VBOT, for example, we send that message to WhatsApp. WhatsApp sends us back the approval or the disapproval of those messages. And once they are approved, only once they are approved, are you allowed to push them in to your messaging workflow. Okay? There are a bunch of guidelines on this, you guys. Don't worry, you'll get it as we also get close to some of the examples. Personalization is key, highly recommended across the board, not only in email, not only in SMS, but being able to plug in people's names, information, context around their business. These are what makes a business a better communicator than another business, a better marketer is a person who make things more relevant to the end customer. And Viva will give you so much information, so many variables and fields that you can collect around a person so you can properly target them. And that's the idea here about like enrichment and capturing data is not because you want to stalk people necessarily, because we want to responsibly use that information to target and offer people better business and improve. All right, you got segmenting your audience is also key. Don't just blast everybody all the time. There are some triggers that are relevant to some. Some people might not even have a WhatsApp account, or maybe they prefer not to be contacted via WhatsApp altogether. So if you want to make it and opt in somewhere, by all means, do that. Respect opt-outs immediately. I mean, usually people they can opt out directly from the app, but if somebody says remove me from this chat, you definitely want to go ahead and remove them from this chat or block communication altogether by either putting a tag on the profile or by just pausing communication or unsubscribing them altogether from a list. Okay? So these are some basic stuff, nothing too crazy when it comes to compliance. Obviously, there are lots of things that you can think about when it comes to compliance. But the idea is to be helpful and relevant at every touch points. All right. Any questions so far?
It seems it's
Everything's good on YouTube, it seems. Let's dive into the next section if so. All right. Now, in terms of industries and how you can use them, every industry can come with dozens of different case studies and dozens of use cases. I'm going to talk about some of the ones that have done it exclusively well, like Skull Candy, which is it's I think a headphone. They integrated this into their checkout. So after shoppers leave items in the cart, automated WhatsApp messages can help you recover. And I know that was the statistics about 12 years ago that I pitched, which says I think 5% of sales are recovered by simply sending a abandoned cart email. I think that number is probably going to be higher by deploying um, WhatsApp messages, particularly because WhatsApp messages, they're almost guaranteed to get there versus email, it can go to five different folders. So in this case, Call Candy saw 25 to 40% abandoned cart recovery with timely WhatsApp nudges, which helps. They didn't overdo it. They just did a couple, I believe, from what I read. And that was enough for them to recover a significant amount of abandoned cart recovery. Okay. And trust me, abandoned cart is on its own a challenge. There are startups and companies trying to figure out how to salvage abandoned carts. Okay. And by the way, the trick that I always tell people, if you want to get a discount somewhere, add something to the cart and leave and then just wait for the coupon to be delivered to you. That's a little trick for you guys. Okay, the pillow company also implemented the three message recovery flow and achieves 100% recovery and 57% increase in sale, which is great. Now, if you're doing also as an e-com company, I would say shipping and order updates, obviously keeping customers informed. They want to know where the product is. Um, And it's done very well right now via email, where it comes in this rich text in your Gmail, for instance, saying track your package, etc. Email is getting better. However, it doesn't hurt if you have a link somewhere or a confirmation message updating people with their order. It just gives that one-to-one touch because WhatsApp is just very almost personal for a lot of people. So when you're doing that, it seems like, oh wow, they're actually on top of it and sending me those. Um, There's this brand, sports brand, that integrated e-commerce into their confirmation messages to be sent on WhatsApp. So not only they send the confirmation message via email saying here's your order details, but they send a bullet point of that also via WhatsApp. And it's very possible to do that. This has ensured customers actually saw real-time tracking details because you can tell when people engage with the message pretty much immediately. It's a two-way conversation. It's easy for them to reply, and you can capture those replies and actually just engage overall. Email is a little bit harder. Most people don't reply to an order confirmation when it comes through email, and most people don't even reply altogether. Whereas in chat, they might be inclined to do so. It's so simple, right? A smiley face, thumbs up, whatever it may be. And that's why, Lisa, I say encourage those replies because once they do, it's an opt-in and you have 24-hour window to respond, I believe, at no cost. All right, product announcements and promotions. You have a new product that just dropped. Why not push it on WhatsApp? This example of the pillow company is just a nice way for them to have a card with a button that's being broadcasted to WhatsApp, and they're going out in parallel with their email messages. You have also the click to WhatsApp ads. A lot of people are running ads and they're support or driving people to their WhatsApp profile or WhatsApp channel so they could engage, order, ask questions, opt in. Because businesses are not thinking of opt in just as an email nowadays. They're also looking at an opt-in through WhatsApp, which means you get their phone number, right? Which is attached to that WhatsApp account. And that allows you to start sending communications in a very cautious and mindful manner. As I mentioned, the pillow company achieved a jump in their sales just by doing periodic, not only by doing the abandoned cart recovery, but also by doing periodic promotional broadcasts through it. All right, so loyalty and re-engagement is another example where you can use it. E-commerce loyalty programs, I mean, they thrive on messaging. Um, you have in this case ABC Travel. It's just welcome to ABC. We're thrilled to have you. It's more like a welcome email, and you can see it's actionable. There's something that people can do, um, and these buttons can engage a whole conversation. Okay, think of it as a mini website with the bot already fully integrated with it, like a mini card website. You got coupons, also work really well. You deliver a coupon when somebody opts in with their WhatsApp message. Right. The key here, though, is you want to direct them to communicate via WhatsApp because if they don't have it, then that channel is dead for a lot of people. Um, but yeah, you can deliver exclusive coupons, points updates of the rewards program directly through WhatsApp. Travel brands have been using a lot. I've gotten a lot of a lot of communication in my recent travel from the hotel, from the airline, and it was offered to communicate via WhatsApp, which made me you think even more. I was happy knowing that WhatsApp is growing here in the United States, as well as other parts of the world. And there's also a reactivation when it comes to getting customers who didn't open an email. I think we can, through special offers that get delivered to WhatsApp, they could be reminded of the brand and win back some of that lost business as well. All right, so we got a question from Samba who said, "Is there direct integration within VBout to link the AI chatbot WhatsApp output?" Yes, there is a WhatsApp integration with VBout's AI chatbot, so you can link it up, get your number going, and then on your AI chatbot, you can have the output or one of them be your WhatsApp message, and then you can program, I believe, and I need to check. I don't think we have a trigger for beginning a whole workflow. Um, I need to check about that, but at least the AI chatbot is going to be communicating with that person. Okay. And I don't know if you want, to have the AI chatbot respond and somebody else. So there's some sort of a handover that needs to happen to prevent duplicate responses. All right. Let's talk about SaaS use cases. In SaaS, just like Vbout, if you have a platform you've built, onboarding is huge. We send messages on WhatsApp, on email, and on SMS, and SMS have gotten us a lot of great engagement. But you can also deliver those courses, those tutorials and videos directly inside WhatsApp. Now, it could be a minimized version of the actual module or the course or the lesson, and then you give them an option to go and view the extended version of it. This is an example of an onboarding email. Um, and a lot of people are actually using them to drive like Slack registration as well to grow the community. They send people to their Facebook groups, etc., etc. All right. So I think after sign up, a chatbot can message setup tips or tutorial links. I think that's part of how an AI chatbot might function. If somebody interacts with your chatbot on WhatsApp, the message can be immediately triggered by the bot. You can send proactive tool tips on your product or product adoption, and I mean, that's basically it when it comes to onboarding, right? You can think about 1,000 other reasons or ways to do onboarding, but that's one of them is channel those communication workflows for the onboarding process to WhatsApp. Then you have renewal and upsell reminders. These are not only e-com, these could be SaaS platforms who are maybe bumping people from, being in a free tier to a paid tier, or maybe recommending an add-on that could be, a purchase add-on. Whatever it is, renewals and upsells can be channeled um, through the WhatsApp channel. It's just an idea. Maybe it's not for everybody, but definitely a place to explore if you're a SaaS company. In this case, you got Also, GeoHot Star, they sent personalized upgrade nudges on WhatsApp. Um, and they were offering free trials to actually bump them up, like a free 30 days upgrade or something of that sort. Again, it needs to be part of your communication channels. And I always say, try to mimic some of the stuff you're doing from the email so you don't have to come up with five different sets of content and just have them be rewritten to the particular channel that you're choosing. And finally, you got, membership platforms. They can send notifications where a new piece of content has been pushed, a module has been released, or even a new course altogether has arrived. So it's a great use case for um, using WhatsApp. The one that I really like the most is using it for support and training because support needs to be a human and it's our nature to actually want somebody to respond immediately, and they expect that when it comes to WhatsApp. So if you can integrate support into your WhatsApp and even have a dedicated number that's just for support, and some companies, big companies, they do that. They have multiple numbers. Some are for delivering transactional, some for doing support and strictly support. That's primarily because support can be powered by a bot, whereas that's trained on that particular function, whereas another can be only can be trained to interact with the e-commerce engine itself and answer questions about order updates, etc. Now, whether those two can merge is a different question, but ultimately it's up to you. You want to choose one number for all or multiple numbers for different functions. In this case, we're talking about support. I do really like WhatsApp for support because it invites two-way communication. Users can message and help with issues, obviously. Like for instance, in my case, I was just looking for a ride from the airport to the hotel, and I immediately got a response and resources on how to do it. And I even got a phone call within like 10 minutes or so from me engaging with the bot. It was very impressive. That was all done, by the way, on WhatsApp. It's like a personal concierge, you know what I mean? In a way. This keeps clients satisfied and reduces traditional ticket loads. I mean, some companies, they create a little waterfall process where the first layer of the support might go through this channel, and if they couldn't resolve it, it might go to a more human supported channel with a higher support load. That's totally optional as well. It seems to have this layer support seems to improve overall satisfaction, but also reduce the workload on support teams. The automated FAQs, obviously, we do that a lot in VBOT. A lot of our clients do that, where they have all their website or product FAQs be integrated into their WhatsApp, and that's a great channel for you if you want to do that. All right, we got also B2B examples. There are so many that we can go over, but because we have a lot of insurance companies on VBout, we've seen few who have integrated WhatsApp in a very creative way. But not a simple business not only simple businesses or local brick and mortar can use it, but also B2B businesses with a little more complexity like insurance, or if you're a financial broker, you can use it for a reason as long as you are delivering value, like we said before. Many B2B insurance and brokers, Alliance is one of them. They allow corporate clients to submit claims and get policy updates via WhatsApp. I mean, that tells you something. If you're sending policy updates via WhatsApp, you're sending a link to, the fully extended policy details. They do send QR codes, as you can see. I mean, this is great, right? It's a channel for communication. It has a lot more visibility and engagement than email. I can tell you that. And it's not difficult or complicated to set up. It just takes a little bit of time and setting up the right profile. Also, the messages are delivered very, very quickly, like almost instantly, right? Which makes it different. And it doesn't need to stand out with thousands of messages. Most people housekeep their inbox inside WhatsApp a lot better than they do with email. I have thousands and thousands of emails unopened in my case, but I have probably two WhatsApp messages unopened. That tells you the difference. And you can track services in a very similar way like you do with email. Maybe not as in depth, but enough for you to understand the engagement. So WhatsApp complements SaaS by extending account management, customer support, and into conversational channel. Okay. So that was an example here with B2B, and not to mention when you're sending those renewals, those upsells, cross sells, I mean, that will either not do anything or is literally going to increase renewal rates and is going to increase engagement. It cannot have a negative impact on you. There's no way. And it's not that much of a cost channel. It's actually a revenue channel for your business. All right, moving on to WhatsApp automation. Obviously, in VBOT, that's the core of what we do. We automate things to allow you to build awesome workflows based on your preferences. So there are other tools that let you build this, but in VBOT, the difference is because we are multi-channel, we allow you to build these not only across email and SMS, web push notification, personalizing it across the board, but also on WhatsApp. And because we integrate deeply with ecom, we integrate deeply with other channels, it makes it a lot easier to cross-personalize and get automated, much like email. So common automations, like we mentioned before, abandoned cart reminders, pause purchase, nurturing, events, webinars, upcoming webinars, and re-engagement sequences are very highly recommended. Um, and for each workflow, there is a trigger, be it abandoned cart, be it sign up. So let me just show you real quick here as I pull up my VBout screen. Here we go. By the way, I got a very busy browser, so don't get too lost here. I can create an automation, and inside the automation, I can specify what my trigger is. We have a lot of triggers in VBot. You can see this left panel from people opening and engaging with email. So now email engagement can turn into a WhatsApp trigger. To also e-commerce, completing orders and abandoning carts, perhaps even if you're doing some sort of a pipeline management, CRM features in VBout, you can update a task and you can have that trigger a message. That could be perfect for either sales, WhatsApp automation, or just updating an order or an order status. We have custom events, which houses probably 10 additional custom triggers, as you can see right here. Like if somebody's had a tag added to their profile, if any, last order from a specific category on your store. I mean, there's a lot that can begin automation on WhatsApp. And you can see the action. I'll drop in my WhatsApp message. Boom. Maybe have a delay. And from there, I can continue building this for as long as I want. Okay? So that's basically how it works. Um, I don't want to go too detailed into the triggers because we have so many, and that's not what this session is about. But I highly encourage you to explore the trigger options that could be paired with your WhatsApp automations. The message itself is super simple. So if I am to create a WhatsApp message, you have marketing, utility, and service. These are the three categories that they talk about a lot. You need a pre-configured number. I don't have one right now, but if you have, and by the way, VBout supports multiple numbers, which is pretty cool. Meaning you can deliver utility messages from one number, service numbers messages from another, and marketing from another. We can attach media. You can personalize. I've talked about this earlier, so I can, have references to even maybe the store that, oh, you just reached your lifetime value at this much, and thank you for your loyalty, and here's your next coupon, for example. There are some guidelines here, you guys. Please follow these guidelines and links to relevant stuff if you are using VBout. But like I said, messages live for 24 hours. before you need an opt-in again, or they become paid, more like a paid WhatsApp message. Okay. And honestly, that's pretty much it for building automation. It's not too complicated. It's very simple, and there's no harm in trialing it, basically. Okay. You can branch out and do all these sorts of cool stuff. All right, back to my presentation. As mentioned, you got all these awesome triggers and the messages with the follow-ups and the filtering makes your workflow a lot smarter. You can make it as simple as just delivering on a cadence, but you can also create filters. Does this person have a tag? Did they order this order from our store before? Maybe if they have, purchased an iPhone, send them this offer. If they have purchased an Android, send them that offer. You can branch out and get very sophisticated with this. Um, Tools and integration. I know I've given VBot as an example. I mean, we have to, right? That's what we do. That's the company that backs this up. But many platforms also integrate WhatsApp. You can use standalone products. You can use other products. It really depends on the depth of the marketing that you want to use. Um, Now, VBot allows you to send a WhatsApp action with the visual workflow, which what makes it very powerful, along with the other channels. But also you can do it with Zapier, Pabbly. Twilio supports it if you're using Twilio, the programmatic workflow that they have. Some CRM also allows some integration. So overall, it is available. It's becoming widely used. All right, moving on to impact and engagement. On engagement and conversion, obviously this is big because we need to know how it stacks up against the other channels and why does it work. So far, the data has shown, and this data is not directly from Viva because we cannot just take thousands of messages. We need hundreds and hundreds of thousands of messages to create some sort of benchmark. So we're gonna get there. But this source so far have shown that 98% of WhatsApp messages are being opened. Okay, that's significant. It's yielding a lot of engagement, basically. Email on average, and people might have different open rates, right? But you have on average, we're gonna take 20%. That's what email opens averages at. You have 98 versus 20%. I mean, that's significantly higher. Okay. Um, and that comes back to the fact that people have thousands and thousands of messages in their inbox, email inbox, when they probably have just few dozens in their WhatsApp channel. So you wanna take advantage of this trend with being fully responsible, like we talked about earlier. Only use it for a particular cause, for something relevant to the end user, so we don't abuse this channel and it becomes just another junk email, basically. Businesses have reported, a big jump in engagement. Um, One analysis found that lead nurturing workflows basically using WhatsApp boosted conversion by 27% and cart abandonment by 25%. So I'm seeing these, 4 or 5x what email results bring literally right in front of me. That's the theme across the board. So whatever you saw in email, you can actually 3 to 5x that in terms of engagement with WhatsApp. All right, so that's pretty much it, you guys. I will open up the floor for additional questions or anything that you guys want me to do. I have about 5 minutes for you to ask anything that you want. But before I do, please check out Viva if you haven't done so. If you need a one-to-one personalized demo with one of our success managers who will tell you exactly if we're a good fit or not, then you will also get your answer by booking a demo. George will drop that in the chat for you, and you can book a time that works well for you. All right, let's begin with some questions if anybody has any. Let's see what we
Yeah, we
got.
do
I got Sergio says very good insights. Thank you, Sergio, as always, for attending and everybody else. I really appreciate that you've been consistently joining us on those events. I really, your support means a lot.
yeah, and by the way, Yeah, Sergio is asking another question about the partner meeting. Will
This month we will
resume.
have the partner meeting coming up again. We're
Yeah,
shuffling some dates, but we're gonna stick to the date for this monthly meeting. So we will have our monthly meeting this month as usual. Sorry we skipped a couple of months. It's just been a lot of restructuring going on and a lot of backend optimization and redesign. So we don't have a lot of new releases that you can actually see. But this month we will have some updates and we will resume as usual.
yeah. Thank you, Sergio. Thank you, Lisa. Also, always loved your webinars. You're welcome.
Thanks, Lisa. Appreciate it. And by the way, this presentation will be made available for you via the email follow-up from George and the Facebook group and also in the slides section on your partner's portal inside VBOT. So you can repurpose it for your own events if you'd like. Awesome. Anybody else? Any final questions? This is the time to do it. All right. It seems like everyone is good. We are nearing the holiday. Thank you, Adam. So we can have some amazing events lining up the next 2 months. Next month we have a great speaker. Today we shifted a little bit from having a guest speaker to just doing these one because we thought this is a relevant topic for everybody. Next month we will have a speaker, and the month after even a great topic from before the holidays and Black Friday and that stuff. We're going to talk about e-commerce metrics that matter, e-commerce tricks and things that you can do to optimize your Black Friday conversions and engagement and stuff. So be tuned for those upcoming events. Um,
Thank you, David, as well. You're welcome anytime. And
Thank
Dimitri,
you, David. Yes, absolutely. Dimitri, thank you. And Rita, thank you. All right. It seems like everybody's good. We delivered the message. Thank you, George, for your help. Thanks everybody who joined in, and we'll see you
welcome.
on the next event. Bye bye, everybody.
Thank you very
Thank you, George. Bye, George.
welcome. Bye.